So during this session today, we are going to talk all about your passions, the things that energize you, the things that make you feel magic in your life. And we're going to talk about how they are all going to be incorporated into your personal brand. So let's get started and dive into what a personal brand actually is. A personal brand is how you want people to see you. You are creating an identity for yourself, crafting your own public identity, which can include things like the image of you, the story of you, your talents, your goals, or maybe even how you live your life. When you brand yourself, you are intentionally putting out into the world how you want others to see you. But let's not confuse the best version of you with your personal brand. We want to talk about personas. Personas are a little bit different than a personal brand. Think about the difference as the persona is how others see you versus your personal brand, which is who you are, who you want to be. So personas, we all have them. Everyone in here has a persona. It's the first impressions you make. It's the relationships that you form. It's how others see you. It's the opinions or the beliefs that others have of you based off of your actions or your behaviors. So how about some examples? You may laugh a little bit. Maybe you're this person. I know I'm in a few of these examples, but are you that person that maybe always seems to have it together? Is anyone that person in here? What about the person that always has the latest dish? Or, gosh, why does she always seem like she's the fun mom? Like, it's not fair. Or even better, the helicopter mom. If you ask my 5-year-old, I have perfected both. So what about that person that always seems to be living their best life? These are all personas. It's the opinions that you have of that person. So remember the difference. Your persona is about opinions or beliefs that others have of you. Your personal brand is about the visibility and the values that you are intentionally showing the world for a purpose. We are going to talk about what maybe a personal brand is not. And over the last 12 years, I have some friendly faces that are in this room. I've worked with a lot of you and out there in our virtual audience too. And I have heard some doozy reasons why Avon is not your personal brand. So just think about it. Over the years, our communities have changed. Our social connections have changed. And our methods of doing business have evolved, and they look more different than ever. So if all of those things change, don't we need to evolve and change as well? Yeah? So I'm wondering if you've heard a few of these non-personal branding techniques yourself, or maybe you've been there, done that as well. But here are some of my top favorites of why Avon is not your personal brand. Let me get into character just a little bit here. Hopefully I can do as good as JJ. I gave these 10 brochures to 10 people and nothing happened. Oh, you heard that one before, right? So my next favorite question to that person is, tell me more, right? Tell me more, what happened? Or how about this one? I posted my link and no one bought from my online store. People I know just don't shop online. Okay, all right. They might have FedEx coming to their house, like as you're having this conversation with them. How about this one? I've tossed thousands of brochures in driveways, and no one has called me for an order. Or then, maybe you get that online order 4 months ago. Right? And my last one, probably my favorite. I tried social media. It didn't work. Oh, okay, all right. So at one point, some of those things did work. In some areas, I'd like to say yes. But we have a different way of connecting with people. Attention spans are shorter, and the need to grab the attention of your audience is faster than ever. And I bet half of you have checked your phone since I have started talking today. Oh, busted. Letting the Avon brochure speak for you versus you speaking to the products means you're only available as an order taker, right? Just to make sure we're on the same page, by definition, an order taker is someone who addresses customer inquiries but doesn't proactively engage in activities that would increase their sales. So now we can dive in just a little bit and level up by giving yourself a personal brand. By leveling up and giving yourself a personal brand, it means you're creating an identity for yourself. And then you are writing the story of you and how the products fit into your personal brand. Let's break that down a little bit more because this is big. Think of it this way. By creating your own identity or branding yourself, you then get to determine how you can use the products at your disposal to fit your personal brand. Interesting how that works. Perspective is everything, isn't it? It's now about the story of you and how your hero products can fit into your brand, not the other way around. You are now the one calling the shots. You are now the one using hero products that fit you and your brand, and not just because it's on the front cover. Let me repeat that. Not just because it's on the front cover. So, now you know what a personal brand isn't. I think you guys are ready to start crafting your own personal brand. So let me ask you some questions. What is it that you have a passion for? What do you love? What is it that excites you? Makes you go, woo! Right? And what's that thing that makes you feel that magic in your life? Can you nail that down? Do you know what that is? Could figuring out a personal brand be that easy? Yeah, it really can. And don't worry, I know someone's thinking this right now. But I have a passion for more than one thing. Is that okay? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, it's okay. So I'm going to pause here for a moment and say, however. You knew there was a kicker, right? However, this may also take some soul searching for some of you. Some of you may need to determine what your passions are. And some of you may be in a transition in your life and need to figure out those passions in order to figure out what your brand could be. So, now that you've found your passions, now you know what makes you feel that magic inside. Now you know what direction you're going to be headed towards. It's also going to brand you. By having your own personal brand, that includes also becoming an expert in that area. Sound familiar from earlier? Becoming an expert, right? An expert by learning all that you can on what you have a passion for. So, Think about these questions. What's currently happening in the market space for your brand or passion? What can you offer in that area? Who else out there has similar interests as you? What more can you learn? You'll need to become knowledgeable about all of your new branding in all areas. Now, this is something that takes time, an investment of your time. Then over time, when you are communicating credible knowledge, is when others will see you as an expert in that area. So, now that you have found your brand, you've identified what you want to be an expert in, now it's time for your voice to be heard. Here are some questions to think about. Where do you want your new brand to show up? What platform or platforms do you currently see yourself using or you're using today? What community activities are you involved in? Do you love TikTok? You scrolling TikTok at night? Why not jump into the world of TikTok? Or why not add your personal brand to something you're already doing? Are you a part of the book club? What about the part of your kid's school at the PTA? How does your personal brand transcend to those places? So here's the best part. Your new personal brand is your reason to show up. Use your reason to show up on those platforms and your communities. Show the world what you have a passion for, and you're going to connect with others who feel the same way. This is how your personal brand comes into play. Whether it's through speaking, writing, visual actions, you have to decide what you want to communicate and how you'll communicate your new personal brand. Then you start applying those hero products into some of the content. That's finding your voice. So now that you've landed your passions, you know what you'll become an expert in, you know exactly where you want your voice to be heard. Now it's time, I think I got ahead one. There we go. Now it's time to grow your presence. I'd like to dive into the world of social media for this one. It would be a miss if I didn't. So how about we kick it off with some numbers? These aren't hard numbers, these are easy numbers, okay? So looking at numbers, according to the Digital 2022 Global Overview Report, internet users 16 to 64, do we have any people in that category here today? 16 to 64? The average daily time spent on social media is 2 hours and 27 minutes. These users were also asked what was their main reason for using social media. You're going to want to hang on to your seats for this one, all right? Over 28% of them indicated it was to find inspiration for things to do or things to buy. Inspiration for things to buy. I got another number for you. The global social commerce sales are estimated to reach $1.298 billion in 2023. Billion. When you network through social media, not only can you connect with people, but you will also learn and see how others show up with the same passions. So networking your passions by connecting with others is a vital part of growing your new personal brand. Being authentic, being real, and being you, people will like you for you and the passions that you also have. Let's talk consistency for a minute. What does consistency look like when it comes to your personal brand? Wouldn't it be true that it looks different for everyone? And by all means, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be complicated. You just have to do it. All right? So how about we lighten it up just a little bit and talk about a fun and easy way to stay consistent. How about staying up to date with some latest trends? Trends are fun, a trend could be easy, and there's new trends happening all the time. It's easy for a new one to pop up overnight, and it's also easy for you to stay consistent and jump on the wagon too as well. So staying up to the latest trends can be your personal brand's competitive advantage. So think about it. How does something become a trend? It's just duplicated, right? Someone sees it, someone else sees it, they take it, they put their unique spin on it, and they keep it on moving. And you can be consistent through replicating a trend and making it your own. Making it your own by repurposing it to re-engage your audience by putting your personal brand to it. The very last step in building your personal brand is everybody's favorite, giving yourself feedback. Maybe you take a look into your social media presence. Maybe it's an in-depth look at your customer interactions or your hero product promotions. What'd you do well? What could have been better? What do you want to adjust? And my personal favorite, and probably most important, was it easy to understand? So set some dates up for the future. What does it look like a month from now? Go back and take a look. How about 2 months from now, 3 months from now? Always continue to give yourself feedback when it comes to your personal brand, because it's ever evolving and it's never ending, because change is inevitable and you out there are always changing.